Okay, as promised, I'm going to show how to load the 12 gauge brass shotgun shells with the Lee Classic Cast press and the RCBS Cowboy shot shell die for 12 gauge brass. Okay, these are Magtech brass. I had been loading them totally by hand. This is a new venture to be doing it partially by press, so that make things a little easier. Anyway, it's a regular shell plate holder that will accommodate a 12 gauge shot shell. Okay, and it takes large pistol primer to fire. Going through this first step, it's resizing and depriming. Okay, with it up, placing a primer in the safety prime. The downstroke, seat the primer. Take that one out of the way for now. Okay. I'm having an issue with the depriming pin, but in any case, what I'll do is use my old hand one until I get that worked out. Okay. Primer's out. The shell has been resized. Placing a primer, downstroke, seating the primer. Okay, now both of these are done that far. This is a adjustable measure. It's a kind of a crude one that was originally for like a muzzle loading hunting inline from Thompson Center, but I welded a little or brazed a little piece on it so I have a handle and I can adjust it. I've got a better one that I carry in my range bag, but this one's just at the house for loading. It's set at 70 grains by volume, and when I compare it to my other measure, it's a little bit light, so I'm not quite 70 grains. That's full, scraped off and level. Powder in the shell. Second one, measured, powder in the shell. Okay, then these are a nitro card that goes on first over the powder. Okay, it just kind of goes in and will rest on the powder. Okay. The second one is a fiber wad, basically to take up the power against the pellets so it doesn't really deform the pellets. That just kind of goes in on top of the nitro card. Okay. Now the press ahead of me here is actually a 10 gauge press, but what I'm going to do is for seating the wad, and dropping the shot. Okay. So the shell is actually ready to go, except for putting that overshot card on it. Again, seating the wad, dropping shot. Okay, that's the only thing I'm using the actual mech press for. Okay. The overshot cards, just a simple little piece of cardboard that just kind of goes over to hold the shot in place. If I made these with a little bit more powder, a little more shot, I probably wouldn't need to glue these in place. But the final step will be a matter of actually putting a taper on the top of the shot shell. And to do that, take out the depriming and sizing die, sizing collet out of the die. And this is the crimping portion that goes in. Take the sizing ring off. This is the sizing ring. And it doesn't quite work the way I want it to. Tried it with this lock nut on here, and this lock nut is too thick for the job. So what I gotta do, wait a minute, maybe not. Like I said, this is the first venture, you're learning with me. Nope, that's just the adapter for the press. Okay, so I'll take the lock nut off the die so I can get the die to go farther down so it'll actually crimp the brass, because it wasn't going quite far enough. And it puts a crimp on the top of the brass. Like I said, if this was fuller with either shot or a combination shot and powder, this would be closer up to the crimp and I wouldn't need to glue those cards in, which I'm going to glue them in anyway, because it might be a while before I actually shoot them. So if you have any questions, leave a comment and we'll go from there. Thanks a lot. Have a good day.